I'm Vicki Cummings and I'm Professor of Neolithic Archaeology at Cardiff University. It's fantastic working on an excavation site because you're out there in the field working on an excavation of a period that you're interested in. So the site that I'm currently working on is a Neolithic chambered tomb. It's a brand new site, it's just been discovered, so we've only known about it for the last few years. So it's really exciting being there at the sort of cutting edge of discovery. And it's often quite challenging, so I'm working up in Orkney, so it's often quite windy, quite wet. The site I'm on is quite exposed, but you just have to have good waterproofs and some warm clothing and get on with it. And it's absolutely worth every wet and damp moment to have all of those fantastic discoveries. So archaeologists rely on material culture and other forms of surviving architecture in order to interpret the past. And the period that I'm interested in is the Neolithic period, so that's prehistory. So we don't have any written texts at all to help us understand what it was like back in the Neolithic. So while we can use material culture that turns up through things like ploughing, and we can look at things that survive upstanding in the landscape, such as tombs and things like Stonehenge and stone circles and henges, in reality, we really need to excavate in order to get at that really sort of good quality material culture in order to be able to interpret what was going on in the Neolithic. Once we've excavated it, of course, we can then do lots of other things with that material culture. So we can do analyses that help us understand what life was like for people. And we can also look at the material culture in much more detail and understand things like where it came from. Archaeology has only really been a discipline for the last 100 years. So actually it's remarkable that while we know quite a bit, there's still huge amounts of stuff that we don't know. So archaeology is really, really exciting because we're always finding new things. So we need people to come along and study and work with us on site so that we can make new discoveries and enhance and refine our narratives. So it's a relatively new discipline, but it's very exciting because it's constantly changing as we rewrite what we know about the past. A career in archaeology actually opens many doors. You can, of course, go on to be an archaeologist, but the vast majority of people who do an archaeology degree don't actually go on to become archaeologists. So it's a really good way into a whole range of different careers. So it can be in the heritage sector more broadly, of which is huge in the UK. It brings in billions of pounds. But also because of that team working aspect of archaeology, it provides you with a great range of transferable skills that employers find really, really desirable. So an archaeology degree is a great way into a range of different careers. For anyone considering studying archaeology, do it. It is just the best subject that you can do. It has so many aspects to it. So if you're interested in the past, it's absolutely brilliant for that. But it's great for things like team building, working as part of groups, going places, seeing things. I can't recommend it enough.